if you wanna visit MSAEZ, you can type labs.msaez.io. And as you can see here, you can see the very first screen web page from MSAEZ like this. And then let's say you want to create your own event storming model. You can access to the menu here, or you can access to the shortcut from here, and you can click create to create your own event storming model first. And then you can see some colorful stickers on the left with empty workspace like this. And then the very first step you need to do for event storming is to identify events on your domain. So I would like to show you, I would like to demonstrate a very simple shopping mall website or services, which consists of two domains. The first one is order domain, and then the second one is delivery domain. So let's create a bounded context first. And then the first bounded context is going to be order like this. And then second one is going to be delivery. And then I like to increase the size of the boundary context like this. And then, as I told you already, I need to identify events for a given domain first. For order bounded context or domain, I would like to put events like this first. And then I would like to name the event like order placed. And as you can see here, you can see a property window like this. When you double click, event sticker. And then for delivery domain, I would like to add event. And then I'm going to name the event to be shipped. So I got order placed event for order domain and shipped event for delivery domain. And then it's time to identify the cause or reason for the event. And then actually there will be two different, we also call them trigger, right? So about trigger for the events, there are two different kinds of trigger for event. The first is going to be command, and then the second one is going to be policy. You can think command is triggered by a user. So which means when there is a user or a client who wants to use your service, access your service, and then let's say the user wants to buy a product from your website or shopping mall. In the case, the user will put or place order. So in the case, it will be command. So usually command triggered or fired by a user. But a policy is a little bit different from command. Policy is kind of a promise or kind of a default behavior for a given domain which is fired by event. So you can think it's like some kind of a former behavior in the system when there is an event. So this is the difference between command and policy. So usually you can think command is fired by a user and policy is fired by a system. And then for a command in order domain, I would like to name it to be order. And then for policy in delivery domain, I would like to name it to be start delivery. So you can think it's like this. Let's say that there is an order from a user, an order placed event will be triggered. And when there is an order placed event, in the case the start delivery policy will be triggered by the event to ship the product to the customer. So this is the meaning of this diagram. And then if you are familiar with development, when there is a command to send an event, it also needs some kind of information, right? So let's say if there is an event to trigger something, in the case that the event also needs some information to make it work. So we call it aggregate. So you need to add aggregate like this. We usually put aggregate in between command and event, or policy and event like this. And then the name of the aggregate for order domain is going to be order. And then as I told you already, aggregate will have information for the event to be fired. So as you can see, there is default attribute which is called ID like this, and usually the ID attribute is going to be a primary key for the aggregate. And then I would like to add attribute for order aggregate like product ID, and then QTY. QTY means quantity of order, and then customer ID. So as you can see here, order aggregate will have 4 attributes: ID, product ID, QTY, and customer ID. So you can think it's like this. If there is an order, in the case, the information for the order is going to be product information, and then the number, and then how many products are ordered by a customer, and then customer will be identified by customer ID attribute of order aggregate. And then for the event, I would like to choose sync attribute like this. And as you can see here, event also have the same attribute with order aggregate. And then I think I have to make a relationship between order domain and delivery domain. So if you want to make a relationship between two different domains, in the case you can click event first, and then you can click and drag the arrow like this. This is the way how you can make a relation between two different domains. And then as you can see here, pops up relation is created between order domain and delivery domain. And then if there is a trigger for sending delivery, it also needs some information for the delivery, right? So I think I have to add attributes for aggregate. I think I have to name the aggregate to be shipping first, and then attribute is going to be order ID long first, and then order ID. So I like to make the demonstration simple. I like to give only two attributes for shipping aggregate like this, and then I like to copy the attribute from aggregate to event like this. So you can see a very simple event storming diagram like this. And then I believe you guys have some kind of questions if this demonstration work. So if you want to make sure if this demonstration work, in the case you can generate a template code with this model. So if you want to see or preview the code, you can go to the code menu on the top right side of the MSAEZ platform, and you can see there are three menus from the drop-down menu. So if you want to preview the code, you can choose code preview menu from here, and as you can see here, you can see the folders or packages for each domain like this. You can see some source codes like this, right? For order domain and delivery domain. And then I found some problem here, untitled, which means the package name for this is untitled. The reason why is I didn't give the name from here. So please remember, when you name the project here, the project name is also going to be the name of the package of your source code or template code. Some very simple shop. So I just give a name for the project like this, and then I'll like run a code preview name of the source code first. So when you check out the order domain like this, you can see very simple shop as a package name instead of untitled. And then you can see the same package name in the delivery package like this. So you can see very simple shop. And then you can see three more folders or domain like this. As you can see, front end and gateway and Kubernetes folder. And then you can see you can think front end is there to support front end side of the application. And at the time of recording this video, front end is based on Vue.js. And then we can see gateway folder. So gateway folder is there to provide a service for clients can access the service in a common or in a single entry point. And then by default, gateway is based on a Spring Gateway. And then if you want, you can replace or change the gateway to be Ingress or Istio. And then when you click Kubernetes, you can see deployment.yml from there. So if you want to deploy your application on Kubernetes, in the case you can refer to the YAML file from here. So this is the a brief introduction to the code preview. And then I would like to show you how this application can be executed. So instead of code preview, you can choose or run project IDE from code menu. And then when you choose code project IDE, in the case MSAEZ will provide you embedded integrated development environment based on web browser. So you can think it's like an embedded development environment in the web browser. And then the project ID was developed based on Theia IDE, which is very similar to Visual Studio Code. As you can see here, sometimes it takes some time to show you project IDE. So in the case, you can refresh the web browser. And then, as you can see here, you can see embedded project IDE like this. And then when you click File Explorer, you can see 5 folders from here. And then you can run order. Before running the order service, you can see the source code from here, which is the same with code preview. And then if you want to run order service, you can open terminal first like this, and then when you ls here, you can see 5 folders, as you can see already, with the code preview. And then I would like to change directory to order. And then when you ls here, you can see pom.xml, which means if you want to run this service, you can use mvn and spring -boot and run. And it will take some time to run order. It's because it needs to download required dependencies first. Order service is running finally. So let's check how you can access to the order service. So if you want to access to the order service, you need to open one more terminal like this, and then you can use HTTP utility, and then localhost 8081 orders, and you can see a successful response from here. The status code is 200, which means success. And you can see a query from the order service like this. And then if you want to check what kind of port you need to access, you can check out the log from here, 8081. And then you can remember I access to orders, which is the destination path to the service. So if you want to make sure where you need to access, you can refer to the source code from here like this. So you need to access to order and then src main java, and you can find order repository.java file from here. And then as you can see here, you can see the path information from here. So that's the information or reference for you to understand where you need to access to the service for a given microservice. And it's time to run a delivery service. So in order to run a delivery service, I think I have to open one more terminal and then change directory to a delivery service, and then mvn spring -boot run. And then in order to make decision which destination I need to access for delivery service, I would like to open delivery and src main java and shipping repository .java, and then as you can see here, I think I have to access to shippings with port number 8280. Come on. Here, yeah, 8280, right? So from the terminal here, I would like to run http like this, localhost 8082 slash shippings, and then as you can see, I can successfully get access to the delivery service like this. And then I would like to run Kafka consumer to see what will happen when I send order from order service. And then the name of the topic is going to be the name of the project. So the project name was very simple shop, right? And then from here, I would like to put order. So http localhost 8081 slash orders, and then from order service, product ID is going to be 1, and quantity is going to be 3, and customer ID is going to be 1. And as you can see here, you can see the message from Kafka consumer topic like this. Event type is order placed, and then ID is 1, and product ID is 1, and quantity is 3, and customer ID is 1. And then you can see the log from delivery service like this. So as you can see, a listener, start delivery event, order placed, and blah blah blah. So as you can see here, delivery service received the event from order service to start delivery like this. This is the end of this demonstration. Thanks for watching.